All right, so I indeed did my hair for tonight, but the hat still goes on. Does it make me smarter? Does it make me review films better? No, just I feel naked. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. I just got back from the Sydney premiere of Sinners, the latest offering from Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. As most of you guys know, these guys started out with Creed and then went on to Black Panther, and now we have Sinners, an original IP written and directed by Ryan Coogler. So I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler free as possible because there are murmurs where people had seen the second trailer and said it gave too much away. So I was fortunate enough to only see the first trailer, and I only saw it at IMAX during IMAX screenings, and I'm like, holy shit. This film was good. So I'm going to try and be as vague as possible, but at the same time, there are certain plot points that I'm going to hint on, and also certain films that I'm going to reference that could kind of... Look, the point is, if you don't want to get fucking spoiled, just don't watch this review. Watch the film and then come back and watch this review. So yes, we have Ryan Coogler back once again in the director's chair and the writing chair. We also have the very talented Michael B. Jordan, not playing one, but two people in this film. We have the Smokestack twins, and this is set in the 30s during the Great Depression. You know, they've done their time in Chicago. They're gangsters, essentially. They come back to their hometown, they buy an old mill, and they essentially just want to throw a house party, and then shit goes awry. That is the most simple way to put it. And there was a lot of hype around this film, not just from a performance standpoint, but all the actors, the cast, but also a technical standpoint, because a lot of this film is shot in IMAX, and I was fortunate enough to see this film in IMAX tonight. And I can honestly say this is one of the most enjoyable cinematic experiences I've had in a long time, and thus far, Sinners is actually my favorite film of 2025. There are a few just like little minor gripes, but I'll get into them later. I think just what I love so much about this film is how much it immerses you in its rich characters, its dialogue as well. The fact that Michael B. Jordan is playing two people and yet you can tell them apart. I love that he has mannerisms for each of them. We've got a newcomer by the name of Miles Catton, who not only acts the shit out of this film, he also sings the shit out of this film. And this is another thing I love about this film. Much like with Batman, Gotham is a character in and itself. With this film, music is a character in and itself. And it reminded me a lot of Oh Brother Where Art Thou from the Coen brothers. So my top three films, my top three favorite films are A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dark Knight, and Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I remember when my dad first showed me Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I'm like, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I loved it. But I also loved that soundtrack. And this soundtrack is on par with Oh Brother Where Art Thou. The music itself is a character. It helps tell the story. It helps you navigate through the film. It's like Mad Max Fury Road. There's not much going on in terms of dialogue. You're relying on the visuals to tell the story. And in the case of Sinners and Oh Brother Where Art Thou, you have music telling that story. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, delving into something that could be considered a bit spoilish. You have these twins that have come back to town. They've bought some property. They want to host a party. And essentially shit goes awry. And this is one of those things where it's like From Dusk Till Dawn. You think it is one film and then it goes to the other. And there were certain points where the transition, I think, threw me off just the tiniest little bit. But then once the transition had happened and the going got going with what we had come into, I was all for it. I think that was like the only real gripe I had with the film. But then when it kicks into the IMAX footage, it's fucking brilliant. Like, you are totally immersed. And it was a bit jarring when it goes from IMAX straight back to the original aspect ratio. You're like, oh shit, come on man, give me more of that. Performances on a whole, absolutely incredible. It just seems like everyone just got soaked into their roles, which was just incredible to see. The costume design, the sound design, the production design, everything just was brilliant up on screen. Whether it's, in the IMAX aspect ratio, the regular aspect ratio. I think when it comes to the climax of the film, I was satisfied. Very satisfied. Considering where the film starts where we are with our two characters, with our twins. And then when things eventually go to where they go, I dug it. I really dug the shit out of it. Again, it's a jarring transition, much like From Dusk Till Dawn. Some people may get thrown off by it, but then there is sort of like a bit of a hook at the end, I guess you could say, where it really tugged at my heartstrings. And then I was with my best mate Luke, who was my +1, and it tugged at his heartstrings even more. So that's all I'll say for that. In terms of like post-credit scenes, during the start of the credits, it transitions beautifully because you have footage playing. And I was saying to friends tonight, it was just refreshing that it wasn't a superhero movie and you're relying on Skippy McDippy to come out and say like, hey, I'm Skippy McDippy. And you're like, I don't know who you are. What are we setting up? So guys, this probably seems like a very vague review, but I think the less you know going into this film, the better. Again, I was fortunate enough to only watch the first trailer. I didn't see the second one because apparently they gave a little bit away. But again, the less you know, there are hints of From Dusk Till Dawn. I love the horror elements that were in this film. I just think this was something that I didn't think I needed, but I love it. And again, thus far, this is my favorite film of 2025. Sans a few, I guess you could say, editing glitches for me personally, where there were certain things that felt a bit jarring, where we're transitioning from one theme into another. But again, I think that's just a me problem. Regardless of that, guys, it's so cool to see how far Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan have come since the Creed days. And again, those are some beautiful days as well, like especially when it comes to the first Creed, the first Black Panther, and then now we have Sinners. I'm very keen to see what these two do next. Again, it was just something nice. It was something refreshing. It was an original IP. It was a nice bit of storytelling, some beautiful production design. You know, you got some wonderful performances, just the costumes, everything. You need to see this in IMAX. This is definitely one of those films where you have to immerse yourself in the biggest screen possible because they filmed some of these sequences, a lot of the biggest sequences, you know, some pivotal points in this film in IMAX, very much akin to like The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises. And I really do hope this soundtrack comes out on LP. This is something I definitely want because I have the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou LP. I want the Sinners LP. And with that, I'm going to be giving Sinners 4.5 steel guitars out of 5. So guys, once you have seen Sinners, please drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Was it what you thought it was going to be? Again, I went in as vague as possible. I kind of knew what was going to happen, but the less you know, the better. And yeah, fuck me. Some damn good filmmaking. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.